Afternoon. It's Monday afternoon, and we're still at camp here outside in the Pecos in the Santa Fe Mountain Forest and a national forest, actually. But I want to talk about solars, little solar we got going here today. Uh, as you can see, the van has a tilting solar panels. I can tilt it towards me or away from me, and it's out here in the sun. And our camper tiny house is back in the shade over there. Uh, this area was full when we first pulled in. That was the only spot we had left. So you work with what you have. I've got panels on both sides of that cover up the windows, and they tilt out. So when the sun's anywhere there's sun, I can grab it. I get about an hour's worth of sun in the morning and about 3 hours in the afternoon. So, and I've got a couple 100 feet of extension cord, heavy duty cord. I could run back to it and just run off this system if I had to. But I've got 400 watts, 100 watt panels up here on this roof, and it's best to keep them tilted for the quickest and the best sun exposure. I'll go around over here. I'll show you what I got for a battery. This has been in some of our past videos, but due to these hurricanes and people without power anywhere, but especially back in the southeast right now, electricity is very important for refrigeration. If you happen to have food you want to store, or if the stores are open, if you don't have any power, this is an inexpensive way to power up your refrigerator. This is the first battery system we bought 5 years ago when we went on the road. It's a Bluetti 2400 watt hour system, or short 2400. This was the beginning of the Bluetti systems. It was a big one, bigger than a lot of them, and relatively inexpensive. It has 2400 watt hours of power, and that's what as off-grid people look for. How many watts your system will use. For example, you have a 100 watt light bulb, and this is 2400 watts of power. You can run a 100 watt light bulb for 24 hours. Of course, nowadays with the efficiencies and LEDs and all that, your light bulb power is minimum. You can get so much more, save so much electric with these LED lights. This will run a refrigerator, which is very important for being off-grid or without power, like back when you're on the grid and you lose your power. It has two 15 amp receptacles on the back side over here, so you can plug in anything that runs 15 amp. A refrigerator, freezer, no problem. Have yourself an extension cord and a good, decent, heavy sized cord, and you can run your refrigerator or your freezer off it. The more power you draw, of course, the quicker the battery goes down. But if you've got sunshine and 400 watts of sun, or 350 these panels will bring in typically, you can run your refrigerator day and night just off this battery here, not lose your goods. You know, one time you lose a freezer or refrigerator full of food, nowadays that's $500 to $1,000. You don't realize what everything costs. But this whole system costs less than $1,500. This one particular, because it's got some age to it, they weren't designed to charge as fast as the new ones now. They're still about the same price, around $1,000, $1,500 for this amount of power, but they charge much faster with solar or plugging into the wall if you have electric to recharge it. So that's the biggest difference with the newer systems now. As technology gets better, they make them charge faster. But it puts out 12 volt. They have a cigarette lighter, all of them do. If you have a 12 volt refrigerator for RVing, they take a lot less power, so you can keep refrigerated goods in those. They cost a lot more money compared to a regular fridge, so we just have a conventional 10 cubic foot refrigerator. But it draws about 100 watts. So in theory, with no sun, I could run that for 24 hours off this battery alone. And of course you have, especially in the south and southeast, you've got sun to recharge these systems. They, especially the newer ones, charge so fast. A newer one this size, they'll take 800 watts of solar, and they'll bring in to buy those panels newer. They're pretty pricey, but everywhere they're having solar fields nowadays. And when these solar fields retire after 4 or 5 years, they sell off these panels for pennies on a dollar. You can buy one panel that's 400 watts for probably $50, $75. I mean, you could build a large solar system on your own for pennies on a dollar for what the government wants to charge you and these contractors. And a lot of these systems that they're advertising, when the grid goes down, the power you're generating goes into the grid, but you don't have any because you don't have any batteries. Kind of a false world we're in, and important to know what you're investing into. But any of these off-grid systems that run refrigerators and lights, I'm saying $1,500, $2,000, you can have a nice portable system in your backyard to run your appliances. It does not hook up to your house directly to your panel. You keep it separate, so you don't need an electrician. You just unplug your any appliance you want to lit up inside and run an extension cord to it. And the refrigerator and freezers, they don't draw a lot of power, so you're not concerned about overloading your extension cords, as long as you get a decent size one. And yep, like I say, the panels have come way down. You can buy used panels. I'm sure they're everywhere in the northeast and the southeast now. And have one or two of these systems, for like say $1,500 to $3,000, and you'll have power in your house for weeks. The best thing about them is the people that have gas power generators, first they got to find gas, and second, if you're in what I consider a war zone, like a lot of these places are now, with no power for weeks and months, you can run solar and it doesn't make any noise. So if you've got a solar system portable in your backyard, you can run your appliances and nobody knows you have it, so they don't come in and steal it from you. Lord willing, if things get bad enough, the looting takes over and whatever has value, you're going to lose it. But this you can keep hidden. It's quiet, doesn't burn any gas, and it's well worth the investment. And like I say, if you want to spend a little more money, you can get an auto tracking panel system. I think they're about $500 for that pedestal. You mount your panels on that, and it tracks the sun. You don't have to move your panels, tilt your panels, or anything. Of course, it's more things to maintain, but anyway, well, just thought I'd give you folks some ideas to think about, and especially in the hurricane season or anywhere where you can lose power. And even without the hurricanes, people lose power nowadays. The grid's getting taxed, and it's getting older, and more people are using more power. So it's just something to think about, and there's no fear. It's just something to have. We've got all these toys. Why not have something that gives us some payback, like these solar panels and these battery systems? Very inexpensive, very simple to hook up. Doesn't take an electrician. If you can plug in a lamp or a refrigerator, you can plug into this system here. Very easy. Anyway, well, just to give a little information out there today, if anybody can use it. And we're going to finish off with Galatians 6:22-23. But the fruit of the Holy Spirit is love, joy, peace. Here's a good one, long-suffering. This is for us our hearts go out to these people that have no electric, no water, and we're just praying they can get through it, and they'll get it with the strength of God. It's free, just for the taking, and give him your heart, and he'll give you the peace that you need. And along with this goes kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. That's very powerful now when when you're working and living in these war zones, because people get ornery. People start stealing things so they can survive. They lose their conscience, and they don't care about what you have. They want it. But all these fruits of the spirits, excuse me, against there is no law. This is what God gives you, peace to go through these challenges, and that's what it is. And He knows we can get through it with His help, but He wants to see how you do when you come through it. So anyway, well, we love you and miss you, and pray for you all and our families, and we certainly pray for everybody that's in that war zone up there in the Carolinas and Tennessee. Excuse me. But we love you and miss you, and pray for God's peace with you all. Take care. Bye-bye.